Well, I didn't think I'd get to see an actual movie in theaters during all this craziness. But with the proper safety precautions, I was able to head over there for the first time since August when I saw New Mutants to see Blumhouse's latest horror film, Freaky. Okay, to start off, I actually really like director Christopher Landon's mindset. Take something we're all familiar with, Groundhog Day, turn it into Happy Death Day. And for this one, he took the movie Freaky Friday and presented it to audiences with a horror spin, and we got Freaky. The plot is pretty straightforward. A quiet high schooler and a serial killer switch bodies for the day, and if they don't switch back by midnight, then the change is permanent. From the trailers, this looked like a cool horror movie with some decent comedy thrown into it. But it was quite the opposite. The fun, over-the-top aspect was front and center, and the horror was just an added bonus. Kathryn Newton plays our leading lady, Millie. You'd probably recognize her from Paranormal Activity 4, Detective Pikachu, and tons of other indie films. She's been dwelling on a family loss and thinks that her life can't get much worse. Well, until her fateful moment happens, of course. And once she gets past the first few hours of being in an older man's body, she totally embraces it. Instead of feeling weak and vulnerable like she did before, now she feels empowered, and the physicality of her new body has her feeling unstoppable. On the flip side, Vince Vaughn's character, the Blissfield Butcher, is trapped inside Millie's body, and it has him feeling weak and dainty. It's so funny, he tries to pick fights whilst in her body, and since he's so small now, he gets his ass handed to him a lot of the time. So you do get to watch him learn how to work with that in order to continue his murderous rampage. The supporting characters do what they need to do, but the standout for me was Misha Ostrovich, who plays Millie's flamboyant friend. This dude takes comedy to a whole new level, and sometimes he even outshines Kathryn Newton and Vince Vaughn. It's so funny because the way he dresses, the way he talks, obviously you know he's a gay character, and there's a scene where he has to convince his mom that he's straight and that he's trying to do role play with Vince Vaughn's character inside of Millie's body while she's tied up. It was probably the best scene in the movie, if you ask me. The kills are iconic and top-notch. Chainsaws, a spear, hell, my personal favorite, even a wine bottle. The movie is definitely rated R for a reason, and you guys are gonna have a blast. The only small little negative I had was the believability factor at times. Like, there's a scene where the butcher just casually strolls into a school in the middle of the day. Like, it's 2020. Y'all know he would have been stopped the second he set foot on the premises. And there's a kill that happens involving someone in a cryotherapy chamber. What the hell school do you guys know that has some high-end shit like that? Anyways, not a big deal though. I'm really loving these movies, and I hope Blumhouse greenlights others like it. Director Chris Landon did recently tease a crossover between Millie from Freaky and Tree from Happy Death Day. He said anything's possible. And hell, they have that quantum reactor in Happy Death Day, so I guess a Blumhouse cinematic universe could happen, right? Those wondering when this movie is going to be available safely to everyone at home, you're in luck. It comes out November 30th. Final thoughts? Weirdly enough, I think the dark humor is what the world needs right now. And this movie has tons of it. Vince Vaughn looked like he had a hell of a time acting like a high school girl, and it's probably my favorite role he's done since Wedding Crashers. If you guys can safely go to a theater and see this, please don't miss out. And want to hear something great? The budget for this movie was only about $6 million, and it's already made that back. So there's still some hope for theatrical runs. The comedic horror film Freaky gets an 8.5 out of 10.